This made my day, folks. This is awesome news. And it's just goes to show uh how much Falcom really appreciates its fans. This is something that I brought up in a Twitter post with David recently, and I was telling him, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to buy Trails in the Sky second chapter if they don't fix the terminology and the pronunciations of some of the things that just drove me out of my tree. Well, Noisy Pixel has reported that Trails in the Sky first chapter has now received a major legacy localization patch ahead of the release of the second chapter, which aligns the terminology with the rest of the series and the rest of the franchise. Orpheus Joshua is reporting GungHo Online has announced that the Falcom developed JRPG Trails in the First Sky Chapter 1 has been updated to version 1.07, implementing substantial fixes. Called the Legacy Patch, this localization update aligns key terminology with other entries in the franchise. This patch was worked on alongside Falcom to ease the transition between first chapter and second chapter. The team prioritized updates to English terminology and pronunciations of terms based on how much they impacted continuity across the series. The patch notes right here says, let's see, updated certain English voice and text to reflect legacy terminology, updated certain English voice to reflect legacy pronunciations. English UI has been fixed. French and German text for increased accuracy and consistency. Updated certain voice and text lines to fix grammatical errors and improve dialogue. Adjusted English terminology. Several major terms have been adjusted to align with terminology used in later titles in the series. Our overall goal with these updates was to align key in-game terminology and pronunciations with other titles in the Trail series. However, with the upcoming release of second chapter, we also felt it was important to preserve the experience of players who started the series with Trails in the Sky first chapter as much as possible. With that goal in mind, terminology and character names exclusive to the Trails games have been largely left unchanged. A notable exception is the names of the tetracyclic towers, as those locations play a pivotal role in the story of second chapter. So basically, here's the breakdown. Updated terminology for quartz. Arch Defense is now shield. Sweet Aroma is scent. Heat Haze is haze. Hidden Leap is cloak. Heavenly Insight is revelation. Tetracyclic towers. The Jade Tower is now the Ismelis Tower. Amber Tower is now the Amberyl Tower. Crimson Tower becomes Carnelia Tower. Azure Tower becomes the Sapphire Pearl Tower. Fish, got to update some names of the fish. Additional legacy terms like Orbital Golem is now an archaism. 100-Day War is now 100 Days War. Lord of the Lake becomes Guardian of the Lake. Acerbic Tomato, Grand Chardonnay. That's been back. Certain in-game graphics have also been updated to reflect the changes. But this is the key thing that just drove me nuts, and I'm glad it's fixed. The following pronunciations have been adjusted. Liberl, Calvard, Jin, Lube, Hommel, Oslis, Zamura, or Zamuria. I probably botched the Oslis. I'm just glad. I'm just happy that this happened. The above changes will also be reflected in Trails of the Sky 2. So basically what they did is they decided to fix this when they brought the voice actors back in to do the dialogue for the second chapter. They set this little work aside to say, you know what, we got to re-record these lines for the first game in a patch we're working on. Please note that while we have updated most of the affected voice lines, a small number could not be revised and will remain as they are. Other adjusted English terminology, blade type quartz names have been renamed to use the names of the status ailments they inflict. Shield types have been renamed to guard type ports to avoid confusion with the quartz shield, formerly Arts Defense. French and German terminology. As you can see here, some of the words in French have been changed to, better reflect and, communicate and establish consistency. But here's, we got some bug fixes. I can't speak this morning. Fuck. Fixed an issue in which the games would sometimes crash due to insufficient memory. Fixed an issue in which the game would crash during certain operations. Fixed miscellaneous text errors and bugs. But here's something else that Falcom has done, and this was pretty cool. For those who wish to play the game without the bug changes, a new 106.3 branch has been created featuring the previous version of the game on Steam. Please note the above is only available on the Steam version of the game. So console versions will not have this feature. Only the PC version, only the ones on Steam. So yeah, I'm excited. So excited that I've decided that the first game here on GungHo Gaming will be me playing through the original 2D versions of Trails in the Sky. Once I'm finished with the 2D version, the original release, I'll replay the remake. Then I want to compare both of them. Because I never did. I started the original games, but I never did beat them. So I'm excited about that. After, I'm going to compare the remake to the original, and then I'll start Trails in the Sky, second chapter, the 2D version, and then right after that, head right into the remake. So basically, I'm going to do pretty much 6 games. What I'll probably end up doing, since we're going to have to wait for another year and a half or 18 months for Trails in the Sky third chapter, what I'll probably end up doing is I might just jump ahead and play the Crossbell arc, because I got those. I'll play the Crossbell arc, get those done and dusted, and then when the remakes for them come out, they'll join them side by side. We're going to have a side-by-side comparison on these games. So that's what's going to happen here on GungHo Gaming. The first game will be Trails in the Sky, and it'll be the original OG, the original 2D game. That's coming up next. And I hope you subscribe and stick around. Oh, before I remove the mic, I should probably do this. GungHo Gaming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very shortly.